Recently, following the issuance of a new statement on Ukraine by Trump and his government representatives, NATO swiftly revised the wording in its own statement, replacing the long-used phrase Russian aggression in Ukraine with the more neutral the Ukraine conflict. For a long time, NATO's public statements and speeches had consistently employed the term Russian aggression in Ukraine. Yet in a press release issued on February 17, 2025, the wording was quietly altered. Unlike before, the declaration no longer used Russian aggression in Ukraine, but adopted the more neutral the Ukraine conflict. It wasn't just a change in terminology. NATO's tone regarding military support for Ukraine has also cooled. In the past, NATO frequently emphasized military support and the imperative to ensure Kyiv's victory, repeatedly asserting that its aid was intended to secure Ukraine's ultimate triumph in the conflict.
As the new NATO Secretary General, it is my priority and my privilege to take this support forward, working with you to ensure that Ukraine prevails.
In its statement on February 17th, NATO made no mention of military support to secure Ukraine's victory. Instead, it called on its allies to be more proactive in the matter of conflict mediation. At a recent Munich security conference, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte called on Europe to take a more proactive role in mediating the Russia-Ukraine dispute. He stressed that Europe should play a greater part by proposing feasible mediation plans instead of continuing to complain about being excluded from diplomatic negotiations.
It's clear what the European side could offer in terms of making sure that a peace deal is lasting.
NATO's easing of tone not only leaves room for US-Russia negotiations, but also reflects Europe's struggle to break free from American security dependence and to reassert its own diplomatic autonomy. This is not merely a simple change in wording, but a miniature of the differentiation of strategic priorities between the United States and Europe, reflecting the fragile balance between complex diplomatic games and US-Russia negotiations. Does NATO's subtle shift in attitude signal a potential weakening of its support for Ukraine? Where is the Russia-Ukraine situation headed? And how will Europe cope with its increasingly marginal role? These questions are poised to profoundly influence the future course of global affairs.